Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to talk about the cost of living in Japan because I've had quite a few questions about how much it actually costs here, and I just figured I would just share my bills with you guys and then you can make your own assumptions. I made a video like this before, maybe like 2 years ago, and I broke down my bills from the year and I told you guys like average prices of things, I guess. Also, it's good to note that where you're living in Japan, the bill price is going to be different. So I have all my bills here, right here, and I'm going to go through them with you guys just so you can see the average price of what I pay. But also it's good to keep in mind that there's two people living in my apartment. There's me and my husband. That being said, let's get started. Oh, by the way, if you see this little critter here, this is my mic. I'm testing it out. I want to see if the audio quality can be any better on my talking videos, and I'm just playing around with it. I have to like Google how to use the Yeti mic and make it better. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so let's first start off with probably your most expensive bill that you will have in the month, which is your rent. So rent, I think, is probably the most expensive bill for everyone living here. So your rent can literally be anywhere from like 40,000 yen to, I don't even know, 100,000 yen. When I lived alone in Yokohama, I paid about 64,000 yen for my apartment. I have the apartment tour linked down below in this video. That apartment was worth 64,000 yen, which is like, I don't even know. I'm gonna speak everything in yen, and that way you guys can translate it to your own currency money. The exchange rate is always changing by country, so I'm just gonna stick to yen for this video. So yeah, I paid 64,000 yen for that place, and it really depends on the kind of apartment that you want and the age. I was the first person in that place. It was a brand new apartment, so it tends to run a little bit more expensive. But if you live in a lot older of a place, then obviously your rent's gonna be cheaper. For example, if you're very far away from the station, your rent might be a little bit cheaper as well. Or if you're on the first level, your rent might be cheaper as well. The higher up you go in a building, sometimes it's the more expensive, which I totally recommend not living on the first floor. I lived on the first floor when I first came to Yokohama, and I totally regretted it because all of the creepy crawlies came in and I did not like that. But I mean, if they don't bother you, giant spiders like this big and like Mikade and stuff, then if that doesn't bother you, then live on the first floor. Anyway, so yeah, that place is about 64,000 yen. I have some friends that pay a little bit less than that, maybe 50,000, as well as I have some friends that live in share houses. So if you don't mind sharing a space with people, share house is probably the way to go. And this place that I am at now, I share with my husband. We pay more than 100,000 yen. Okay, after your most expensive bill is out of the way, I'm going to talk about utilities. So our internet is included in our place. So actually every apartment I've ever lived in Japan, the internet was included. I never had to pay separate for that. So if anyone has paid an internet bill in Japan, please leave a comment down below of your average pricing for the month, because I honestly don't have an opinion on it just because I've never paid it. Like, I can't say how much it is. Yeah. So internet is included in this place. And then you're gonna have your three main utilities, which is gas, electricity, and water. So for water bills in Japan, they come every 2 months, so it's not every month. And I never found water to be that expensive compared to my other bills. Let me get some water bills up here. So all these bills you can take to the convenience store and they scan them and you can pay them right there, or you can do them at your local ATM. That's fine too. What's the most expensive water bill that I paid? Yeah, so I can see here for 2 months, it's like about 6,500 yen, 6,000 yen, 6,300 yen, 6,600 yen, and 5,700 yen. So my average water bill for two people here is between 5,000 yen to 7,000 yen. I would say that could be like your budget. I also have a dishwasher in my apartment, which I'm very lucky. I love it. And my dishwasher broke this year. And when my dishwasher broke, I found that my water bill slightly raised because I was hand washing dishes compared to dishwashing. So yeah, that's my average water bill, I guess you could say. Between 5,000 to 7,000 yen a month is what you should be saving if you're gonna live here. Yeah, bear in mind that's 2 people. And then let's move on to gas, because gas really fluctuates depending on the season. So in the summer months, your gas bill is going to be a lot cheaper compared to the winter months. So the winter months, your gas bill is going to like not skyrocket, but it's going to go up because, you know, the gas heats the water in the apartment. In the winter months, the water is very cold, so the gas has to work harder to heat your water when you shower. As well as I have a gas stove. Well, I have a gas stove top, so I have 3 burners and I cook a lot. So my gas bill is going to be a little bit more expensive. Your gas bill comes every month and I have a year's worth of gas bills here. So let's see. My most expensive bill. Ooh, that gas bill was cheap. Ooh, see, that was so cheap. Okay, for an example, as I'm saying, in January and February are kind of like the coldest months here in Japan. So in January, my gas bill was 5,270 yen, and in February, 5,587 yen. So those are the coldest months in Japan. It's gonna go up. And then if I look at September, it's hot in September. I don't really need to use gas to heat up the water. I only basically use gas. You do use a little bit of gas to heat up your water, but not much because it's so hot outside. It's like 40 degrees. September's bill is for August. So the bill comes in September for August, you know? So technically, I guess this is like August bill. It's 2,782 yen. So it's like under 3,000 yen, which is cheap. Well, like cheap compared to the other ones. Yeah, my bill has been over 5,000 yen for the January bill, the February bill, the March bill, the April bill, the May bill, and then for June it finally goes under 5,000 yen, and then it stayed around 2,000 to 4,000 yen. So that's my average pricing for gas. I know this video is going to be really boring, but some people just really want to know the price of living in Japan, so that's what I'm giving to you. Okay, next is power. So I think besides rent, power is probably my most expensive bill, and there's 2 of us living here. But to be fair though, I had expensive power even when I lived alone. I definitely remember paying over $100 in the summer to air condition my apartment for just me. In the very cold winter months and the very warm summer months, your power bill is going to be higher because you're using the heater and the air conditioner more. So the heater and the air conditioner are combined into one. So a lot of people get their heat from their air conditioner, which I do. Some people like to use like kerosene stoves or gas stoves. I don't have one of those. If you have a very mini electric stove that you plug into the wall and turn on, and it just blows hot air at you, like we have one downstairs, if you use that, it's going to be expensive. So some people think that running the air conditioner is not as expensive as the little mini heater that you plug into the wall, but those mini heaters take up so much power. We have one downstairs because, you know, there's 2 levels in my apartment and he doesn't have a heater downstairs, so he has to stay warm. So he uses that, and I noticed like last month he started using it a lot because it's very cold downstairs, and whew, our power bill just went like up so high. Keep that in mind if you're thinking about buying a little tiny electric heater like that. They're not cheap. Now that that ramble's finished, whew, wow, my power bills are expensive. So in November, my power bill was 7,000 yen, which is considered kind of cheap compared to the rest of my bills for power. For the month of April, May, June, and November, my bill was under 7,000 yen because those are not really cold months, but they're not really warm months, so you don't really use the heater a lot, right? And then, whoo, buddy, my most expensive bill was August, and that's the hottest month in Japan, and it was over 16,000 yen for that month. And then, you know, in September it drops down to 12,000. But honestly, I'm on summer vacation in August, so I'm home like every day, always running the air conditioner, so I can see why that it is that expensive. July too, 15,000 yen. So I can see the December bill pops back up to 10,000 yen, and I just got my bill recently for January, like we get it now, and that was 15,000 yen. So that's expensive too. So really the power bill is hard to judge. It really fluctuates. It honestly just depends on how much you use your air conditioner. There's another two bills that you're going to have to pay, which is pension and health insurance, national health insurance. So in Japan, everyone's legally required to be under some kind of health insurance, whether it's private or national. I'm under the national health insurance, so I pay monthly to be under that. And it's kind of like the government pays 70% of your hospital bill and you pay 30%. So I pay that, and every month it's around the same. It's about like 16,000, 17,000 yen. And yeah, it's important to stay healthy and keep your national health insurance card in your wallet at all times in case you need to use it. There's some people that do private health insurance. I don't do that, and I don't know anyone that does do that, so I can't speak on how much that costs because, you know, every plan is probably different. And then another thing is pension. Pension is kind of a touchy subject. I know a lot of people that don't pay pension. I know a lot of people that do pay pension. I pay pension. I also tried to make sure that with the Canadian government and the Japanese government have a deal. So if I ever move back to Canada, I have access to my pension that I'm paying here. But not every country, I think, has access to that. I'm not 100% sure. So you should definitely look into it. But yeah, just be prepared to get a lot of letters in the mail if you don't pay pension, telling you that you have to pay pension, because a lot of my friends get that. So pension is also around the same as health insurance. Over 16,000 yen, but under 17,000 yen, at least for me. So pension and health insurance are kind of based on your salary from the previous year. Some of my friends with higher paying jobs than me pay a lot more into pension and a lot more into health insurance. Same with people who have a lesser paying job than me, they pay less into the health insurance and the pension. Another tax that you are given maybe like your second year is called residence tax, and that is to pay to be resident in your city, basically. And everyone pays this tax in Japan, whether you're Japanese or you're not. That is also based on your previous year income. So your first year in Japan, you don't get this residence tax because you weren't really working the year previously. Residence tax is how many times a year? 4 times a year. Yeah, I have my bills here. And I know some people who pay less residence tax than me, and I know people who pay around the same as me, and I know people who pay a lot more than me. I know some people who are new to Japan and have to pay between like 15,000 to 20,000 yen every payment, and that's because they're only on their like second year or something here in Japan. Or if you have like a lower paying job, then you don't pay as much residence tax. I also have some friends that make bank and they pay like 40, 50,000 yen. They make that payment 4 times a year. And for me, my bills are in the 30,000s. So 4 times a year, I'm paying more than 30,000 yen as residence tax. So yeah. I guess I should put in like budgeting for groceries here too. So we put aside 40,000 yen a month for our groceries. I don't know if that's considered a lot or not. I tried to like make some cheaper meals sometimes, but at the same time, like I drink smoothies every day and I like to eat healthy. So I like to have fresh veggies and stuff too sometimes. So if I wanted to cut down my grocery budget, I wouldn't be able to afford certain kind of things like that. I don't know anyone who really budgets money for groceries. Maybe that's just like a me thing. I know this video is kind of boring. And if you watch to the end, man, good for you. I don't know if I would have been able to make it through this kind of video just because it's a lot of talking, a lot of numbers, a lot of responsibility. I did live by myself in Canada, and to compare some things, I do think that living in Canada is a little bit cheaper than living in Japan, but then at the same time, I'm living in a big city in Japan. I was living in the biggest city in my province in Canada, but that city is not nearly as expensive compared to like, you know, Vancouver and Toronto. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it informative, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to add to what I said, definitely do so, because I think these kind of videos are informative for people who are wanting to live here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.